Alrighty, let's go. Ooh, dear. Alright. The old computer's having a bit of a chug with OBS Studio tonight. That's okay. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Hi, Real Doggo VFX. Hi, Andy Pereira. How's it going? What's news? Let me just quickly throw up a post to let people know that we're here. And we'll be good to get started. Alright. Alright. Oh, hey, everyone. Hi, Ninny. Hi, Ghostface Riley. Hi, Drago X. Hi, Willa. Hi, Townsy. I'm just quickly throwing up a post on the socials to let people know that I'm here and I'm live. I was running a little bit behind tonight. And so I'm just fixing that up. Hi, Coldfront VR. How's it going? Alright, how is everyone tonight? What's news? Alright, and that's tonight's new question. Hi, CN Skull. Hi, Turworld. Hi, Jay. Hi, Bella. Hi, Taco Munich. Hi, JK Inc. Thanks, CN Skull. Thanks for liking the live. Alright. So, I have to check the comments on the post that I put up yesterday about getting some character suggestions from people for tonight's sketch card. So, let's go and have a look and see what people want me to draw tonight, hey? I'll just pull that up. Alright, so I need some characters. Everybody drop your favorite comic, game, or cartoon character name in the chat, and I'll pick two, and we'll do a poll to decide which one I'm going to draw tonight. So, let's swap over to the main scene.
Right, let's do this!
Hi, Riri. Hi, Cortez. How's it going? Hi. Alright, so, these sketch cards. I'm looking for a suggestion for who to draw on one of these tonight. So give me at least 2 names in the chat of characters that you really like, and we'll run a poll between 2 of them. Hi, the stick guy. Hi, Soot42. Tell me some of your favorite characters. It doesn't have to be your all-time favorite, just some characters that you love. Hi, Echo. How's it going? Okay. The angle on the table cam is a tiny bit off. There we go. That's a little bit better. Hi, Not Ugana. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Sabai. Hi, Ying Ying. How's it going? Hi, Isaac. Who's your favorite character from any cartoon? Drop some characters in the chat for me. Hi, Felipe H. How's it going? Alright. Well, in this case, who do I feel like drawing then if I've not got any suggestions yet? Ooh, Starfire is a good choice. Starfire is a good choice. You know what? No one else has given me a character yet, and I want to get started, so let's go with Starfire. Let me just pull up some references and see which version I want to go with. Alright, thanks for liking the live, Sabai. Let me know if that's not how it's pronounced, by the way. I can only read people's usernames. I don't know how some of them are supposed to be spoken. Hi, Jam. How's it going? Let's have a look and see what her current Titans comic look is. I think I like the top from this look, and that's what we're going to see, so let's go with that. Alright. Well, in this case, we're going to use the hair for most of the background, honestly. So let's just... Hey Google, set a timer for 30 minutes. All right. So, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm Sean Sunday. I'm a comic book artist and writer. Among other things, I'm a sometimes podcaster. I'm a sometimes D&D live streamer. Hi, Ian. How's it going? Speaking of comic book creators, Ian Face is also a comic book creator. And yeah, once we're done with this sketch card, I'm actually going to be thumbnailing some commissions for my Kickstarter rewards. Hi, Toaster Bath. There we go. Awesome. Okay. All right. Hi, Wexuis. Hi, Brazilian Monkey. Hi, Johnny Simon. Simon. I designed them myself. Brainbeast Studios is my studio. And so I print these here in my office with my logo on them, so that I can do these sketch cards for people. But I sell this version, which has space for character name or a signature of an artist, rather than my branded version. And I also have these big ones that I'm in the process of doing a demo of. I'm going to try to finish that demo off next week. Hi, Brookie Smith, 25. And thanks, Zubai. I really like them. I've been really enjoying working on them. All right. And so yeah, for anyone that's new here as well, I put these cards up on my Etsy store when they're done, so people can buy them on my Etsy store. I've got a whole range of them, and working on more. But also, once per stream, people can commission a custom one. So there is one available every single stream. And to do that, people can drop their drop a baby dragon gift or above, and then tell me what character you want, and I will post it to you when it's done, and I'll draw it live on the stream. Hi, Cupid J. Hi, Yuri Biscuit. Hi, Boybo19. Hi, Dennis. How's it going? Hi, Tree. All right. How's it going? Drawing Starfire today. Hi, Sabs. How's it going? Yeah, I'm kind of doing the costume from her solo run, but ideally, if I was doing a full body piece, I'd be combining a few of the different costumes because I'm not super happy with any of them. Might have to change that eye up towards the end. I'm trying to go for a quizzical, like one eye boggling a bit more than the other out of surprise sort of look there, but don't think I've quite nailed it. But I can fix that up later. Hi Livas, hi cool noob. Hi Carl Buchman. How's it going? Hey JK Inc. Thanks buddy. Hey Seeker WX. Hi Hamburger Roach. Hi Santa Claus. Alright, that's probably inkable from there. Hey Google, how long left on the timer? Cool. That should be enough time to ink it too. Hi, air conditioner. Hi, hello, kitty. Hi, Sarisha. Hi, Harley Reid. Hi, Bikes for Life. How's it going? Hi, Little Rider. How's it going? Hi Mozza. Hi I. How's it going? Hi Baller. How's it going? Hi Kay, Bailey's wife. Hi Ramya Talib. How's it going? Stop. Alright. Since the timer's gone, we're gonna leave this one at the inking stage for now. And I'll probably color it, I don't know, tomorrow. But depending on how long it takes me to thumbnail these commissions that I've got to thumbnail, then I might in fact come back to it at the end of the stream. Hi Harvey, how's it going? But yeah, we will leave that there for now. And we'll get on to the thumbnails. And we're going to use my big fancy... where is it? My pacer with the huge lead in it. But we're going to... Let me just see if I can. Hi Platon. There we go. Hi Millie Ton. Just wear this down a little bit because it's still pretty much brand new. That's better. That's giving me a nice shading point. Yeah, awesome. Hi Naza Ahio? Ahio? Hello. Alright, let's flip through. Gosh, I wish I'd done that design. It's not the one the client wanted, but it was my favorite. These are thumbnails for the Snuffles the Indomitable comic coming out. Here we go. Alright. Now let's pull up my my commission sheet. So I can get the responses. Hi, Epic Fart Boy Official. Hi, Thomas Martin. Hi, Harvey. Hi, Maraka. Hi, Josh. Okay, interesting. An underwater scene. So we're just gonna break this down into the 4 quadrants so I can do 4 thumbnails on the one page. So first thought for this one. A little bit of swimming. Hi, Holocard. Hi, Daniel Halak. Hi, Fake99. Hi, Cursed Cornflakes. Hi, Oreo. Hi, Popcorn is the best snack, no debate. Hi, Lizzie. Hi, Arthur Morgan. How's it going? Little octopus guy on the shoulder. Alright, that's my first thought. Is him like floating in the water. Maybe we'll have a bit of seaweed coming up here. A bit of an eel. Hi! How's it going? Thanks for following. Hi, Muppet Inc. Thanks for following me, Grimlock. Yeah, doing well, doing well. I just realized I didn't turn on any of my backlights today, and that's why things look weird. That's better. Much better. And adjust this a little bit. There we go. Oh, now everything's the color and the brightness that it's supposed to be. Got a busy day on? Speaking of Grimlock. There he is. Alright, so I'm working on some thumbnails for a commission right now. Thanks. I'm having a great time with this at the moment. I've got some commissions for the Kickstarter that I just did that I've got to get going on. So we just did a warm up with this sketch card of Starfire. It's not my best, but it's not the worst also. And that's what the sketch cards are for, is to just get things drawn, get them done. It's helping me practice. But yeah, right now we're thumbnailing some larger commissions that'll be done on big artboards. About this big. So there'll be full pencil commissions for some backers from my Kickstarter. I've got 6 of these to do. Nice. What's it about? Some people aren't into sports manga. I'm not a huge sports manga guy myself, but I don't necessarily not like it. Like, I don't dislike it. I just don't really read it. If you know what I mean. I'm not really a sports guy generally. But there are some sports anime out there that, like, they look really cool. The art is really great. The animation is really nice. The story sounds like it's really good if you're someone that's into sports. So, like, you know what I mean? It's not that I don't like it. It's just that I'm just not really a sports guy. Which one? I've heard of a few. It could be one of the ones that one of my friends is into. Oh, I've heard of that. I have actually heard of that one. Yeah, it does sometimes. It really does. That's why I like to do these thumbnails before I start on a big piece. It doesn't necessarily help the technical part of drawing take less time, but it gives me something to work with so I don't have to think about it for as long before I can actually start drawing. Hi, I'm in love with Toji and Gojo. I'm guessing that's a JoJo reference, but I haven't actually seen JoJo, so... Not too much I'm in love with Toji and Gojo, just working on some thumbnails for a commission. Then I'm going to send it off to the client so they can choose which one they like. I am really enjoying it already because this one's a D&D character of someone's and I really like it. So I'm looking forward to drawing the actual commission once they pick a thumbnail. And then I've got another one that's actually another person's D&D character that will be thumbnailing once I finish these 4 thumbnails as well. And then I have to chase up the others because they haven't filled out their forms yet. No worries, Grimlock. I'll see you later on. Also, for anyone that wants to join, I have a Discord server for Brainbeast Studios, and we've got a share your art channel, so you can post your art in there. You can find it by heading to my website from the link in my bio. The Discord should be, yep, there it is. It's on the front page. All my links are on the front page there, so if you just click on the Discord link, that will take you to the Brainbeast Studios Discord server. So with these thumbnails, I'm really just trying to get the vibe across to the client so they can pick which vibe they like the most, and then I'll get started on it. All right. Hey, hi Luke Talks VT. How's it going? Yeah, not doing too bad. I'm excited that I finally finished the sticker designs for my Kickstarter stretch goals sticker pack. Which means while I'm waiting for the final pages to come in for the comic, I can finally get started on the commissions for the backers who chose a commission tier. So I'm really excited about that. So I'm thumbnailing some of those commissions out. Alright, one more thumbnail. And then I can send it to the client to choose which one they want. Oh, yes, Grimlock, if you head to my bio and click on the brainbeaststudios.com link, on that front page, down the bottom, there's a whole bunch of icons for where you can find all my different platforms. So if you just look for the little Discord icon and click on that, that should take you straight there. Because I don't think links work right in TikTok chat. Otherwise, I would just drop the link. Let me see. They do? Good, because they don't look clickable from my end. On the computer, you know, but I'm not sure what it looks like on the phone. So try that. That should do it. I'm still getting used to TikTok Live. I've been a Twitch streamer for a really long time, but I'm still very new to TikTok Live specifically. I've only been going live on here for a few weeks. All right. Need to create a space here. Octopus guy. Then I can shade that back in. Cool. No worries. Yeah, have a look around, explore, share some artwork. Everyone's really nice in there. We've got some really cool other comics creators in there and all kinds of stuff. Awesome. I'll have a look after stream. Thanks for sharing. There's loads of like art resources and stuff like that for people as well, and like streaming resources and stuff like that in there. So hopefully you'll have a good time. Even one of my favorite comic book authors, Cullen Bunn, is in there, so. Hi, Ashley Kate. Okay, well, that's the first thumbnails done. I can send that to the client. Take a little picture. Awesome, no worries. Thanks for letting me know. Hi, K-Boys. How's it going? All right. Sent those in. So now we get to work on the thumbnails for the other client. All right, let's find. Hi, Harry Fisher, 29. Let's find the other person's response. Well, I'm still very new to live, so I don't have as many followers on this channel as I do on other platforms. So people are still getting to know I even exist, to be honest. Hi, Hazel VR. How's it going? Okay, yeah, right. Yep, so that's what this little dude. Yeah, grown little bit by little bit. I get a few new followers, a few new chatters, a few more gifts every stream. And, you know, I'm in the process of growing the content that I post when I'm not live more. I've had a busy few weeks, so I've been posting regularly, but I haven't been able to make as many videos of the specific type that I want to, for a few weeks. But this week and next, I'm sitting down to record, excuse me, a buttload of those and get them all scheduled up, which I'm really excited about. Alright, so what do they want this character doing? Okay. Okay, this one's easy. Hi, Xavier. How's it going? Thanks for sharing the live, Grimlock. Appreciate it. Legend. Hey, have you read the IDW Transformers comics? Hi, Steph. Hi, Jackson2212. Hi, Craig Davies. They're really, really good, honestly. It was like 13 years of really incredible comics. And there's, if you had read them, there's a piece of my art I was going to show you, but I can't show you without giving away a huge spoiler, so I won't show you just yet. Yeah, I love Grimlock. I love the 86 Transformers movie. That's why I've got Hot Rod up there as well, next to Grimlock. Alright, so we've got an annoyed Zwerfneblin druid. So, first, let's go with a big portrait. True, but it did give us Rodimus Prime. And I tell you what, I was super disappointed with the Netflix Transformers show in that they didn't. I actually misheard something in one of the episodes where Hot Rod turned evil. Thanks for liking the live, Sabrina. Thanks for following. Hi, Coco. I saw a couple of other names flash past there, but I didn't get to say hello. But hi, how's it going? Yeah, Rodimus turned bad in that Netflix cartoon, and he called himself Rodimus Kron, and I misheard it, and I was so disappointed. They missed out on such a perfect opportunity. I thought he was calling himself Rodimus Crime, and I'm forever disappointed that he did not, in fact, nickname himself Rodimus Crime when he turned evil. Right? Exactly. It's such a Hot Rod move. Like, he still calls himself Rodimus even after he stops being a Prime. Hi, Holly Smoke. So bad Rodimus, of course he would call himself Rodimus Crime. Of course he would. But instead, he called himself Rodimus Kron, as in Unicron. Such a wasted opportunity. Exactly. It's cheesy, but he's cheesy. He's so cheesy. Hi, B. I missed a few other names there, but welcome everyone. Ooh, wait till you read the IDW comics then. There is some wild stuff with Soundwave, Shockwave, Deathsaurus, Tarn. There's some wild stuff with all of the above, and a bunch of new bots as well. Yeah, Shockwave is pretty awesome, and you actually get a lot of Shockwave origin story. Before he had the one mono eye, you get a lot of that in the IDW comics. I'm just responding to the client whose commissions I was thumbnailing before. Uh-oh, here comes trouble. Oh, they didn't come in. I could hear my partner giggling at something outside. Yeah, some kind of wooden chair. Big high back. Maybe with some spears on it. Some feet. Yeah, Soundwave was really good in that. It was really great to see them all in proper G1 style. Yeah, I liked the characterization of Soundwave back in those movies. I just wasn't a huge fan of the design. So for me, I was really excited to see OG, like G1 style designed shell, but modernized Soundwave in the Bumblebee movie. Hi, Bonk. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the alt mode of the weird satellite wasn't as cool. Like, Soundwave has been a lot of things. Soundwave has even been a tank at one point. And a jet. But the satellite didn't super vibe with me. Yeah, for sure. I'm still a sucker for the boombox. Always will be. I still need to get a figure of that one. Every time they bring out a really good one, I can never afford it. I've never got the spare money. So I always miss Soundwave. And an actual correct sized Bumblebee only finally hit Australia in single boxes last year. But I haven't been able to justify picking it up yet. It's only 35. But, that's 35 I could be spending somewhere more useful. Before that, you could only get a proper sized Bumblebee if you either bought the really expensive, like, Masterpieces ones, or you bought the 5-pack of Worlds Collide figures, which I didn't want all those weird alt versions of the characters. I just wanted the Bumblebee. Oh, nice. My collection is mostly the War for Cybertron figures that they released when Netflix started doing its thing, because they just were like G1 style but modernized, and also the Studio Series 86, like the movie figures. I need 2 more ideas for this. Hi, Corpsify. How's it going? Yeah, the Lego Optimus is pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, you'd be worried about it falling apart. Hi, Sylvia. Thanks for liking the live. Yeah, we're working on some thumbnails for commissions. So I just did these ones before. And the client picked this one. So that's the commission we're going to be doing, is going to be a big version of this. Oh, I keep having that fear with my Devastator up there. If he falls down, they separate and fall apart. And then I have to put it back together. Thanks, Sylvia. We warmed up at the start with this sketch card, which I didn't finish coloring yet, but I will later. But the thumbnail is going to be taken and put onto a piece of comic art board this size. And so I'll get to drawing it at this size. So next Thursday night, we'll actually be working on one of the commissions. Hi, Nyasha Bloom. We'll probably start with this one next week. And then once this client chooses theirs, we'll go on to that one. And I've got to chase up the other backers that backed for a commission tier because they haven't filled out the form yet. I did a Kickstarter for my comic book last year, and I'm in the process of fulfilling the Kickstarter at the moment. And one of the tiers that was available was a copy of the comic book and a full grayscale pencil commission. And so these two are of this one and this one are of their respective clients' D&D characters. Hey, no worries. I'll be posting lots of pictures of the art that I get doing these live streams in the Discord later anyway. And I'll also be putting the time lapses out on TikTok once I've had the chance to edit them and speed them up. Hey, hi, secretly Lance McLean. It's okay, you didn't miss everything. I've still got one more thumbnail to do before I finish up tonight. So this is the page that we're on right now. This is for a commission of a Zwerfneblin druid for one person's D&D character. And these are the ones we started with for a kobold sorcerer underwater. And this client chose this thumbnail. So we'll be doing this one bigger. So these will be going on to proper comic book art board sized. Like this big. So they'll be getting blown up and drawn at that size. Yeah, these are commission rewards for my Kickstarter. So they were like $300 tiers. And I'm just working on one more thumbnail for this one, and then I have to chase up those remaining backers that backed for that tier because they haven't filled out their form yet. Hey, that's okay. That's a good reason to miss out. I loved that show. Do you want to see something cool? There's the full run of the original Sweet Tooth comic. There was a sequel after this. I don't have the sequel comic yet. I got very, very lucky a couple of months ago, and a friend of mine was like, hey, my old housemate left a long box of comics, you know, a bunch of comics behind. Do you want to come and have a look? I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. Thinking it would be a stack of trades about this big or something like that, you know, just a couple of trade paperbacks. But no, I get there and she drops off an entire long box full of comics, and that was in it. So I was like, fucking yes, please. It was. I got some really amazing stuff out of it. I couldn't believe it. Some stuff that I've always wanted to read but never had the chance. Some stuff that I have read but only digitally and never got to hold it and read it and see how it looks on the paper, because it looks different. It looks different on the page to what it does digital. So sometimes some books it's just extra special to get it in hard copy. And then there were a few books that I'd never heard of, but they were by creators that I really liked. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'll have this and give it a read. Yes, yeah, I've watched both seasons of Sweet Tooth. Was it just the two, or did they do a season 3? I can't remember now, but I'm all caught up. I just don't remember how many seasons there were. Yeah, season 3. Yes, I've seen season 3. I watched that when it came out. Yeah, that is totally fair. It's hard sometimes with stuff like that. Hi, Mystery GGs. Yeah, they're big episodes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Well, thanks for stopping in. All right. I got to think of one more for this grumpy Zwerfneblin. Oh, this is such a deep cut for this specific person. It's so hyper specific, like to their specific actual play shows and their games, and one specific player who likes to make bad jokes and then make their bad jokes real physical objects in the real world. And I know they're not watching right now, but just in case they watch the VOD later, yes, I'm talking about you, NVC. One of my mods is the person responsible for this. Ah, yes, fun. Yeah, this person who this commission's for, I played in one of their games, and they made a little sizzle reel for their channel, and the first thing off the video is me dressed like some kind of old timey barber, essentially shouting, "There's fuckery afoot!" because the cops wouldn't listen to me in this game, and we were trying to catch cultists in a Call of Cthulhu game. And it was actually set here in Ballarat in the 1800s. So I was playing an actual historical person at a location that I've actually visited. It was really fun. Yeah, it's a set of Call of Cthulhu adventures written by a local historian named David Waldron. And the adventure we were playing in specifically is the. Hang on, let me remember the name. William something's Haunted Mansion. William Bailey's Haunted Mansion. That's the one. And this person whose commission I'm working on right now is, well, he's probably finished by now, but was playing at the cultural festival tonight. Was playing a live game, a sequel to this. Let me drop a link here. Is this the original session that they did for the... Yeah, the Ballarat Cultural Heritage Festival is on at the moment. And a bunch of these folks have been doing one of these Call of Cthulhu adventures set in Ballarat every year. And it was live streaming. Dang, I can't share it. I'm going to post it on my Blue Sky, the original session they did. So if you find Brainbeast Studios on Blue Sky, you will find the original live game they did on site for the Heritage Festival. But we ran one of this on my friend's channel. And it was my second Call of Cthulhu game. But it was very fun. Let's see if I can find it. William Bailey's Haunted Mansion. There we go. Yeah, it's like Twitter, except not run by Elon Musk. And with way better moderation tools. Okay, there we go. I've dropped their original game and the one that I played in on my Blue Sky. Yeah. Alright, but that's 4 thumbnails done, so I can send those to him, to good old Promethean. And he can pick which one he wants me to work on. And I've chased up the other backers to get their answers so I can work on their commissions. But yeah, so I'm going to switch over. That's tonight's work done. And tomorrow night will be the sketch card party. So we'll be picking as many characters as possible, running a poll at the start for 2 characters, do that sketch card, then repeat, run another poll for the next character suggested. So keep an eye out tomorrow morning. I'll be posting a video out first thing. Oh yeah, the previous one, it's a video showing off all you'll see is the sketch cards. So it's a video of me showing all the different sketch cards. It's here on TikTok. It's about, let me see how many videos back it is now. I think it's about 7 videos back now. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the 8th video. And where is it? This is the thumbnail. This card. Yep. If you go to that video and either post the name or a picture, if you can post a picture, post a picture. Not everyone has that feature yet. But if you can't post a picture, post the name. But also there'll be another video going out early tomorrow morning saying, tonight is the sketch card party. Drop your characters in the comments. So people will be able to do that as well. But yeah, if you don't have that feature yet, just drop a name in the comments, and that's fine. And yeah, I'll be drawing names from the comments to run in the polls. And once I run out of names from the comments, then whoever's in the chat can drop names in there as well. But yeah, I'll pick 2 names at a time. We'll do a 5-minute poll. You folks in the chat can vote on which one of those characters you like. And then we'll draw that character, and then we'll do 2 more characters. I'll pick new characters for each poll until we've picked as many characters that weren't in previous polls as we can. And then we'll go back and do the ones that weren't picked yet. So that'll be that tomorrow. But yeah, I'll say goodnight to you on TikTok for now. And then I'm going to jump over to Twitch and go for a little raid. So thanks for hanging out on TikTok, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And keep an eye out for some new videos dropping tomorrow. And hopefully tomorrow I'm going to have time to record my next few comic book recommendation videos. And get those scheduled up. So see you then. All right, Twitch, let's go a rating. Who is live? Who is live? Let's go with LNL. LNL just deserves some love. All right, let's go raiding.